My guest this week is a brilliant actor and one of the stars of the brand new series Breeders. Over the last decade, Daisy Haggard has made scene-stealing appearances in some of our favourite comedies, including Psychoville, Episodes, Uncle, and her very own critically acclaimed series, Back to Life. And now she stars opposite Martin Freeman in Breeders.
Jesus fucking Christ! How many times do I have to tell you to be quiet? Sorry.
I don't want the kids to turn out.
Like you?
Fuck off. No, like my dad. It'd be fantastic if they turned out like me. I'm great.
Yes, obviously.
Fucking hell.
Please welcome Daisy Haggard! Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Now, we had a fuck-up the other day. Where
Yeah, that was great. That filled me with confidence.
Yeah, it was so weird. So we were at a Sky launch, and I went, hey, nice to meet you. And Daisy said, we've already met. And I was like, fuck. And I apologised. But where did we meet before? I can't remember.
We met a few times, but randomly.
Don't
worry about it.
Oh, no. Where are we?
Don't worry about it.
Where are the other times?
I think I found your credit card once when you lost it. You were, famous. I wasn't, so I remembered. I've got I didn't do anything with it. And now I really wish I had.
Where was that?
I was at like a premiere because me and Kerry were in I Give It a Year.
Yes.
So I think it was then or something. I can't remember. And then just because the circuit. But
Yeah.
Honestly, don't worry.
Well,
as long as you don't do it again.
Yeah. Now, I watched your new series.
Did you?
I loved it. For anyone who hasn't seen it, what's it about?
Breeders is, I would describe, an unflinching look at parenting.
It certainly is, yeah.
A terrifying and unflinching look.
It's really funny, but I am not a dad.
Yeah.
I would like to be a parent, and it terrified me.
It is a condom, isn't it?
Yeah. But I was like, oh, this will be... And I found it harrowing.
It's kind of like that, but don't worry, it's going to be fine.
Will it be fine?
Yeah, it is, because they're really funny, and you also, you also really, really love them.
Yes.
So that really helps, and they do make you laugh a lot.
Yes. And it's yours and Martin... It's not yours.
No, it's Martin's.
It's Martin Freeman's. He co-created it, didn't he?
He did, yeah. So it was his idea.
Yeah.
Martin had a dream, which is the first scene in the show where he's walking up the stairs, telling himself not to get really angry with his children, and then he loses his shit in quite a huge way. And that dream then he became this sort of seed of the idea, which he then took to Chris Addison and Simon Blackwell, and then together they created Breeders.
Now, I was curious about that, like, because I did a Christmas sort of film thing a few years ago on BBC.
Oh, yeah.
And we weren't allowed to swear in front of the kids.
Yes.
And we had one joke where my mum had to say, I don't see the point of flavoured condoms. It's not like my fanny can taste. And we had to... we had to put children in a different room.
Yeah, that's what we did. We had these substitute scripts, actually, where they'd have, like, a word instead of, like, the swear word. So
right.
Fudge for fuck. I can say fuck, right?
Yeah, of course,
Thanks,
yeah.
God. And clock for cock.
Yeah.
But the problem was, whenever we read from these fake scripts, I would just lose my sit.
Yeah.
And just get totally giggly, because it was so ludicrous. So you had to learn 2 versions of the script, and then you let rip.
And did you bring... You've got kids, right?
I do. I've got 2 little ones.
Did you bring any of your kind of experience from being a mum into the script, or...?
Well, yes, because I every night my kids would sleep on my face, and then I would walk in and be like, oh, I look so shit, it doesn't matter, because I'm playing a really tired...
Yeah, that's kind of perfect.
So it's sort of living it. I was like, I'm just going to say the line.
So you went method?
Yeah. Being a mum and sort of, we'd all go in and share the dreadful things that happened the night before. My daughter started saying fuck kind of around about that time.
Oh, really?
She thought when she farted it was a fuck, which is a bit complicated. And then the other one thought a truck was a fuck. So one would say, I've fucked, and the other would say, I want.
Yeah, and you've got to figure out whether there's been, a crash or a fart.
Yeah.
Wow. But how did they pick those up?
I don't actually know, but then they also picked up stuff that I've said. So there was a brilliant moment where I put my baby to bed, and the other one was 4, and she would just walk past, and she just went, Wendy's fucking awake again. And I was like, oh.
I love that. But that feels like she almost had a cigarette hanging out.
She does that. She's kind of dark. She's
Yeah.
like the other day she called across the road. She went, "Can I come to your house?" And then she went, "Don't worry, I'm not going to kill you." And then she laughed.
I like her.
And then she got a new jumper that was pink and she went, "Mummy." And I said, "Yes." And she went, "If boys touch my jumper, they will never see their parents again." And she meant it.
I tell you what, she sounds incredible.
I know.
How old is she?
She's 5.
Wow.
She says stuff, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then she, like, looks at you with this sort of twinkle.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So do have kids, because that's really fun. I mean, that's kind of, like, best part of parenting.
We've actually got a clip of the show. It's really great. Here it is.
So will we be seeing Luke in the Year 3 production?
Well, not on stage, but you're seeing that sort of behind-the-scenes stuff, aren't you, Lev?
I'm doing all the lights.
Oh, well, never mind. Maybe next year.
Come on. Fuck them.
They're fucking excellent.
In their fucking outfits.
Ponces, I can't stand him.
Or her. Do you know that she's having an affair? Not for the first time either, because he's so grey and dull and she's some sort of 70s swinger throwback.
We're best, aren't we?
We are best.
It's really funny. It's just... It feels... It's very deft. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that nice thing when the jokes aren't, "Here is a joke!"
No, yeah,
Just
it's subtle.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
I should check. When's Breeders out?
Breeders is out on the 12th of March on Sky.
Lovely. And what were you like as a kid?
I was kind of naughty and cheeky, but not, like, mean. But I used to also do lots of really awful, oh, my God, just terrible shows, endless shows. I did a play for my dad once, a 3-day play.
And you're...
3 days, seriously.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
how old were you?
I was 7, I think, or 8, and
And you wrote a 3-day play?
I didn't write it. That's what he sussed on the day
Oh.
3. But I basically... He used to make horror films, so we'd have some props, and there was a claw from a film of his called The Blood on Satan's Claw, which apparently is like...
It's a...
People would want that claw. But...
Yeah, well, Steve, who works on the show, said that it's like one of the seminal British horror films.
Well, I ruined the claw, guys. I'm really sorry.
What did you do?
Well, so anyway, so he had this claw, so I'd used it as a prop, and I did a 3-day play called The Mystery of the Scratch Boob, which is basically just me going, "Oh, no, there is a scratch on my boob." And my poor friend having to, like, run round after me while I was like, "Oh, fie, the scratch on my boob." And then my dad finally just stood up and was like, "This is bullshit." There's no story, there's no plot.
Oh, really?
No I like that he gave it 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, that shows that he's a good dad.
Yeah.
And it's not just Breeders. Like, I didn't know this, but Back to Life, which is a fantastic show in case you haven't seen it, you wrote that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I did. I created it and then co-wrote it with Laura Solon.
And it's about a woman that's been in prison. She
Yeah.
leaves prison. She's getting her life back together.
Yeah, that's right.
What inspired that? You don't strike me as someone who's done time.
Well, I really... well, no, I'm really interested in how harshly we judge women over men, and so that. And then I love a kind of innocent coming-of-age indie film.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, what if she's actually very sweet and quite innocent and optimistic? And then also I'm always interested in how, just what rough time women anyway, in their late 30s, with no partner, no job, how you'd feel. But then imagine if you'd done this terrible thing.
Right.
And you were living with your parents in the small town where you'd done the terrible thing.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, that's funny.
Yeah. It's such a great premise, though, eh?
Yeah.
And you've got a second series.
Yes, I'm writing it at the moment.
Are you?
Yeah.
And Back to Life was a huge hit in America.
Yeah.
And
it went well, it was nice.
it's pretty cool, that.
Yeah.
Did you consider doing the LA thing, going out there?
I've been recently, but before then, the only time I went was when I did episodes.
Yes.
So I went out there for like 3 days, and I was just so un-LA. I mean, I fell into a room for an agent meeting, this long room with all these people who are really glamorous on their phones, and I literally just fell over.
Right.
Just fell in it, and I was like, hello. So then I started to develop a thing where I go, I'm from England.
Oh, they're like, oh my God, it's what they do. They are so wobbly.
Everyone's talking. She's so clumsy and so cute.
Well, what was it like working on episodes, given that because you're a massive Friends fan, aren't you?
Oh, God, yeah.
So what was that like being... Were you able to be normal around Matt LeBlanc, or...?
No.
Oh, really?
No, I was really like... I'd sort of just get really flustered.
Yeah.
And then be like... then have nothing to say and then leave. It was really not...
But didn't you struggle when you went to his house?
Oh, God, yes. So that was on the day where I fell into a room and then I accidentally said something really inappropriate to a casting director. And then I was like, oh, we were going to his house for a meal. And I was like, oh, God, how do you turn up at someone like that famous's house? I didn't know what to do. Everyone else was going together. So I was late. So I got a taxi and I got dropped off at the gates. And they were like, are you sure? Obviously, nobody does that. And I was like, yes, because I thought they'd all see and then they'd all know where he lived and I would have exposed him. So I sort of rang on the bell. I was like, hello, it's Daisy Haggard here. And I was wearing heels and this sort of dress and it was really hot. And it was evening and these huge gates opened and it was like the longest hill walk.
We walk in the heels the whole time?
So I took the heels off and I'd had such a shit day that I held them in my hand and I was like, oh, yeah, of course. This is how you show up to bloody Matt LeBlanc's house.
Talking out loud?
Talking to myself, like fully waving some shoes around. Just like, oh, fuck you, Daisy. Like, you've totally fucked up this LA thing. And then I got there and he came out and he went, what the fuck were you doing? And I was like, what? And there were all these people and they'd been watching me on the CCTV.
Wow.
And I just went, I'm the main girl.
Yeah. Awful. And were they laughing or were they all kind of like...
They were bewildered, but we moved on fast.
Were they like LA Botox?
No, it was all the cast. It was all the cast, yeah. There wasn't any of that.
That's the thing that freaks me about LA, that everyone looks so kind of like stretched.
Yes, there's
Do you know what I mean?
that,
There's a real like sort of wind tunnel look.
Yeah.
You know. Weird. Like, my sister went there and they were all kind of like, maybe you should do this and do... Like, suggesting what she should do.
Well, I had that in an Uber.
Did you?
Yeah. I was
Someone told you in an Uber?
Yeah, in London. An Uber driver was like... He said, you know, I could only see his eyes in the, you know, mirror. And he said to me, do you want Botox? And I was like, I'm all right, actually.
Just out of the blue?
Yeah. And then it turned out he was practising to be a plastic surgeon and do Botox. And I said, OK, well, what would you do? What would you do to me? And he really went for that.
Did he?
Oh, he was like, right. And I could see his eyes, and he was like, fillers, this. And I was like, oh, and it genuinely didn't bother me because no judgment for anyone that does it, but it's not for me.
Well, surely if you're an actor,
for me, imagine me. I mean, my whole career's going like that. It would just never work again.
So what happened?
After he'd told me all the things that he wanted to do to my face.
Yeah.
That sounds so wrong.
Not unusual for an Uber. Yeah.
So after he told me everything he wanted to do, surgery-wise to me, at the end, the final big reveal was he turned around. And it was then that I realised that he'd practised on himself.
Oh, my God.
He just turned around and he was like...
Wow.
It was quite amazing, and I just was like... And if I had been about to go, oh, God, maybe he's got a point, I was like, OK, no, I think I might be better. He definitely had done a lot of practising at home.
Wow.
Maybe not even with Botox.
That was wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, the fantastic Daisy Haggard!